32-year-old Monique Munoz was killed last month when a Lamborghini slammed into her car at the corner of Olympic Boulevard and Overland Avenue. The Lamborghini was being driven by the 17-year-old son of James Curry, a multi-millionaire real estate and e-commerce developer. The LAPD tells us the teen did have a valid driver's license at the time of the crash. They also say there is no evidence drugs, alcohol, or street racing was involved.
Brendan Curry, a 17-year-old rich kid that was gifted a Lamborghini SUV in celebration of passing his driver's test by his father James. However, just few weeks after receiving the car, speeding Brendan hit 32-year-old Monique Munoz, which costed her her life on her way home from work on February 17, 2021. James Curry is a wealthy man who frequently flexed his wealth on social media, showing everyone his lavish lifestyle. In the days following the crash, it seemed as though police were unwilling to arrest the young man or hold him or his father accountable. However, after thousands of locals making a voice for victim Monique, it seemed like the tables are finally turning and both James and Brendan may now face justice. James earns his money through JF Holdings. They trade cards such as Pokemon. According to sources, James said to bring $200 million in sales in 2021. So obviously he's going to spoil his son and get him whatever he wants. One of the things he spoiled him with was Lamborghini Urus SUV when his son got his driving permit. The SUV is an 8-cylinder turbocharged, achieving 0 to 60 miles per hour in less than 4 seconds. Brendan was born in the early 2000s and obviously has led a very privileged life with luxury all around him. Like I said, James made sure he shared his fame with his son. So when Brendan took his new car out one day on February 17, 2021 at around 5 p.m. during rush hour near Olympic Boulevard, while he was flexing and driving so fast, going around 120 miles per hour, crashed the back of a Lexus owned by a girl working as a receptionist that just graduated from her university and planned to attend law school when all her plans were cut short by Brendan's actions. Monique Munoz lost her life to an accident that was easily preventable if Brendan used caution and common sense while driving his fast car that was gifted to him by his dad. It was a tragic day for both families, since Monique lost her life and sources said that Brendan suffered from a brain injury, but made a full recovery later on. When police arrived at the scene, it was clear that Brendan was recklessly driving his car and that was the cause of the accident. But police would not be holding him accountable at the time, which caused the public to get really pissed since Brendan didn't get arrested at the scene. The case seemed like it's standing still, like nothing was happening, which left the Munoz family really angry since everything seemed more than clear for everyone. He used excessive speed and killed Monique, so he was responsible for her death. So why isn't he being charged for her murder? The Munoz family arranged a protest against the officers who were not holding the killer accountable. The case then quickly gained traction online and on social media. And by March of 2021, Brendan was arrested and charged with vehicular manslaughter. It was around this time that there were reports that Brendan had been street racing when he crashed, according to photos from the crime scene, as well as discussions among various police officers. There is a possibility that Brendan was racing an Audi sports car when he lost control and crashed, as per some witness statements, claiming there were two vehicles involved in a high-speed race between a Lamborghini SUV and an Audi that was seen in few of the crime scene photos parked close by. However, the public wanted to hold his father accountable as well for the death of Monique. Although he wasn't in the vehicle, his father often bragged about his Lamborghinis and posting about racing other drivers in his fast cars, prompting illegal racing. This led to Brendan finally appearing in court alongside his mother, weeping throughout the duration of Brendan's hearing, with Brendan willingly admitting guilt for his actions. However, he pleaded guilty at the end and was sentenced to house arrest for the following months until he could return to court in June for sentencing, though I don't know if I would call this a punishment. The Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office earlier this year said Brendan Curry has pled guilty to felony vehicular manslaughter. The 17-year-old appeared in juvenile court to enter his plea deal months after Monique was killed. If found guilty, he could face between 1 to 6 years in prison. Another court appearance on June 30th will advance the case against the minor driver. This is where the case of Brendan hits a somewhat dead end. Even though he was due to appear in court several months ago, there have been no news reports about what his sentencing was since he was a minor at the time of the incident. He only faced a few months of probation at absolute maximum. However, the statement gives us a clear insight as to what's to come In the aftermath of the case, James Curry would then be arrested on the 11th of August 2021 for assault and domestic violence on his spouse. It's clear there is more behind the Curry family than just a fast car and bad choices. And with Brandon willing to take accountability for his actions, perhaps it's James' turn to bite the bullet at the time of the incident. It would take James Curry several weeks to make any public statement regarding his son's actions on the evening of February 17th.
The victim's family claims Curry's wealth and influence has slowed the investigation.
I am very, very sorry. And no words can say how sorry I am, because those are just words.
According to prosecutors, he had been street racing against a female friend and swerving in and out of traffic for several blocks before the crash. In September 2021, Khoury was sentenced to 9 months in a juvenile detention center with 4 years of probation. Family members and friends of Munoz urged the judge to impose the maximum punishment against the driver. Following the sentencing, the Munoz family told Fox 11 that the sentence didn't provide any justice to them. Attorneys who represent the family of Monique announced that an $18.85 million settlement was reached in the case. Hopefully the family can finally get some closure for this horrific tragedy. If you liked the video, please make sure you subscribe.